So I kind of wanted to take this time out to just kind of introduce myself, and give you a little background about myself, as well as, the different things that we go through as parents, or as a matter of fact, the different things that I've encountered as a parent going through a child, that has cancer. Just a little background. Elijah was diagnosed at 17 years old with a high grade osteosarcoma. And it started out in his left femur. In 2018, he had his left femur removed. And then we also found out that he had other lesions in various other places. He had it in his hips, his spine, his lungs, his shoulder, and they're still there. Um, so we've been dealing with all of this over a year now. We found out 2018, probably in February sometime. He had a surgery in May. So things kind of went really, really fast. So let me just backtrack a little bit because, like I said, I put certain things out there on social media, but you guys don't know like the bigger picture of it all. And I feel like maybe my story may be able to help someone else that may be experiencing things that we've experienced. Elijah was a football player as well as a basketball player, very active. So in December of 2017, he said to me that he was having some leg pain. And, being an athlete, you kind of expect that. So, I just kind of kept saying to him, did you hurt yourself? Did you land on something wrong? He's like, no, mom, I don't recall, ever doing any of that. So I'm like, okay. So in January of 2018, he was complaining about his leg again. So I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna make a doctor's appointment, again, thinking that it was just something because he was still actively playing basketball, even during the time that he was complaining that his leg was bothering him. And so, as a parent, we just think sports, you don't think, oh my God, there's something major going on with my kid. You just think sports injury. It's common, And so it never occurred to me that something serious was going on. So late January, he got to a point where he couldn't like add any type of weight to his leg. And, I saw his leg start to get swollen. So we made a doctor's appointment. Went and got an x-ray done. Nothing showed up in the x-ray. Doctor said, do Motrin. You play sports. You could have hurt yourself or something like that. You got a little inflammation in your leg. Nothing really to be concerned about. Nothing showed up in the x-ray. So as a mom, I said, okay, well, we'll do the Motrin. We'll ice it down, see what happens. I don't know what else to say. We've done the doctor thing, nothing came up. And so I'm very grateful for his trainer in school. His football trainer, Megan, love her, love her, love her. She called me one day and she said, Mom, I know that you took Elijah to go to the doctor. I know that you guys did an x-ray, but his leg is swollen and I want you to take him to go to get an MRI done. Things may not show up in an x-ray, because it's just checking for his bones. We need to figure out what's going on. And I said, okay. And she gave me someone to go look for and called, got a doctor's appointment, and boom. Well, when we went in and we talked to this doctor, and he's like, oh, maybe you pulled, your, oh my God.
I can't even think of the word that I'm looking for. Oh my God.
Anyway, it's kind of like a sports related injury, okay? And so he was thinking maybe it was a sports related injury, and so he wanted to get an MRI done. So we go get an MRI done, and we go back to the doctor 2 days later with the MRI results. And we go into the doctor's office, and I sit down, and when, the doctor walked in, it was almost like he had seen a ghost. And he just looked at me with this face, and at that moment, and if any other parent that's out there and you are with your child and you're getting these results back, you can almost feel that gut wrenching sensation that you get in the knot in your throat when you're being told, I thought this was one thing, but it come to terms that you have a really big tumor in your left leg. And as a mom, I froze. and the tears started to run down my eyes, and my mind was just blank at that moment because I couldn't fathom the words that were being said to me. And, you know, instantly I just started to cry. I couldn't do anything else but cry, And my 17-year-old at that time sat on the doctor's table and just said, okay, so what do we do from here? And I was a mess. I was a mess. I didn't even know how to consume that information. I was just overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. And, you know, we couldn't leave the doctor's office that day until we got other people involved, and it was serious. It was critical. It was critical because this tumor was growing at an aggressive rate. And, when the doctor looked at me and he said to me, he hasn't been complaining. And I said, well, he's been complaining a little bit about his leg. And he said, well, you have a strong young man on your hands, because I would think that he would really be complaining, like not being able to sleep at night because of this. And he was like, no, I've been okay, a little pain, but not to where I'm not able to sleep. And in my head, I'm just like, oh my God, like if I would have got him here faster or sooner, like would these results have changed? Like these are all of the emotions that's going on in my head. Did I fail my kid? What's going on? What's going on? How do we handle this? What do we do? What's the next step? And so we got all of that taken care of. And I promise you not, the ride home, I sobbed like a baby. Meanwhile, my son had not one tear in his eye. And what he said to me this day made all of the sense to me. And from that moment on, I knew that I had to be strong for him. And he said to me, Mom, I'm going to be okay. All my life I wondered why I was here, the reason. And this is my reason. We all go through tests in life. God gives us so many tests. And this is my test. We're going to fight it. And we're going to be great. And I said, you're okay with all this? He said, yes, Mom, I'm fine. And from that moment on, I knew that I had to be strong for him because he was strong enough for me. And I sucked it up. And as a parent, we do what is necessary, We have to, take that weight of our kids and we have to hold on to it. And we know that we can't cry in front of them. We can't make it a big scene in front of them, because if they're okay, we have to be okay, right? This is what we're thinking, right? Well, full body scans being done, everything's being done, and this is within the matter of a week. Everything is boom, 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 boom. Doctor's visits, boom, 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 boom. Like, it's just nonstop. It's nonstop. Nothing is stopping. Everything is going at a rapid rate, and, we're in and out of doctor's office, and it's just going, I'm just going crazy because I'm just trying to figure it all out, and I'm just trying to understand it all. And, we got back to bone scans, and this is the day that he went to go get his, we did an MRI the day that he got his port put in. And we wanted to figure out if the other lesions we were seeing were just maybe bruising, because at that point, we're on crutches and, we're applying a lot of weight to one side. And so now we need to figure out, like, are these just bruises here? What's going on with the rest of this? And come to find out, these are more tumors in the rest of his body. Well, again, I lost it. Thankfully, he wasn't near me when I started to cry. I just kind of walked out and just had a moment to myself. And I said to myself, you got to get it together. If he is okay, you have to be okay. You cannot show him this side. And so I had to suck it up. And he was so strong through it all, through the surgeries. He was the strong one. He was giving me the strength that I needed. Like, so you guys see that little portion of it. And, you guys see that, even the senior ball, you seen that portion of it. But you guys have no idea what an amazing kid I have. And how much strength this kid has. and how much positivity he has. And it's amazing, like even now thinking about it and talking about it, like I am holding back my tears because it's amazing, like I can't be more blessed in my life, with any of my kids. I love all of my kids. But when you see somebody going through such a hardship, and he was a junior in high school at the time, and so there was a lot of not being able to go to school, a lot of going through chemo, and a lot of doing work inside of school, and his school was amazing. Everybody within this community, his school, his principal, his guidance counselors, they were amazing. But the other people that I want to give the utmost praises to is Upstate Calisano Children's Hospital, as well as the Cancer Center. The staff is amazing, and they became my family. They became our family. And every time Elijah goes inside of that hospital, it is family. And it doesn't feel like we're in a hospital. It feels like we're at home. They take care of him as if he was one of theirs. And for that, I will be forever grateful. They're such an amazing staff, and I love it. We laugh, we joke, and they hold me when I cry, and it's just an amazing feeling to have that warmthness inside of the hospital when you're going through such a hard time. It makes it emotional, it makes it hard. And when you have to see your child lifeless on a bed and just receiving chemo treatments and just lifeless, because let's face it, chemo is let's face it. And when you have to watch your child go through it, it's a feeling that's inside you that it makes you, and it hits you to a point that you just don't know whether you're coming or you're going. I can't tell you how many nights I cried, how many times I was on my knees praying. And the only thing that I really wanted was to take that pain away from my son. And I know that I can't. But I do know that I have to be there for him. And I do know that I have to be strong for him. And I do know that we're going to fight this battle together. So for all of you moms and dads that's going through what we're going through, you hang in there. I know that the times get rough, and I know that it gets rocky, but we are strong. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Our kids got this, and they will fight, and we will be right alongside of them, fighting with them. I just needed to make this video even for myself purposes, because it's a lot. It's a lot for anybody to have to endure. And if you don't have a support system, it's harder. I can't even imagine not having a support system. So I'm creating this channel to make myself your support system in any way that I possibly can. Because we need each other. That family. So even if I'm on a camera, I don't care where I am. I want to be that support system. But I also want you to be strong. It's okay to cry. And it's okay to cry with your child, because your child then knows my mom and my dad love me. And they love me enough to feel what I feel. It may not be a physical feel, but that emotional feel and that soul feel is real. And they will love you forever. Just like you love them forever. See, we cherish every moment that we have with our families. And sometimes I think people take that for granted. And I think even I have taken that for granted at one time or another. But going through this experience helped to humble me in ways that you can't even imagine. I don't take anything for granted. Nothing in life is for granted. And I thank God every day for the life that I have and the day that I wake up to see another one. I am more blessed and thankful for every day that Elijah gets up to see another day. But we will get back to this journey, you guys, very soon. I look forward to hearing from you. Leave messages in the comments. Any questions you guys have, any other things you want me to talk about. So stay tuned for the next video because I'll have your main man, Elijah, sitting right next to me. It's time to interview him. What do you guys think about that? Have a blessed day.